find a common ground between previous years and Terry's vision. So I think everyone's really optimistic.
I think that's really funny. He's trying, but he's not succeeding. What about tempo? It sounds like you're still getting used to exactly what tempo you want to play at and the tempo that he wants you to play at.
Well, we are. There's going to be an adjustment period. I think he wants us to be a little more selective. He definitely wants us to push the ball when we get stops, but there's going to be times in the game when he's going to want us to come down and grind out a good shot in the half court. So I think that we're still working out the kinks. We're still trying to find a rhythm and a flow of what we're trying to do. But everyone, like I said, everyone feels pretty good about where we've come from a month and a half ago and where we are now.
In Terry Porter, you've got a guy who played your position, played it very well for a long time in that league. Does that make it easier or more challenging for you as the guy with the basketball in his hand?
Well, I like it. For me, it's a chance to try to learn as much as I can from someone who's experienced a lot in this game and accomplished a lot in this game. So for me, it's fun to have a point guard as a coach, and someone who was as good as he was, I think has a lot to offer me. And I think we can kind of see the game through similar eyes, and we have a lot in common in that respect. So I think it makes it fun, and I think it makes it a good working relationship.
You mentioned the bigs. Amare Stoudemire had a big game last night, Steve. He's got a ways to go yet before you can put him in the same class as a Kevin Garnett or a Tim Duncan. In fact, what does he have to do, aside from a championship or more, what does he have to do to put himself in that category?
Well, last night I told Amare it was the best game I've ever seen him play. He was everywhere. He was amazing. I think he did some of the things last night that will allow him to be on the same level of a Kevin or a Tim Duncan. So I think those things are, one, just defensively growing. I think he's a guy who didn't play in college and at times didn't have all the coaching that he maybe needed. So I think he's still learning defensively. Last night he had block shots, steals, was really active defensively. And I think the other thing that for him is going to be reading the game and making passes, making the right decision. We all know that he can score, that he can quick people, out jump people. But if he can make the right decision, know when to pass, know when to shoot, know when to put it on the floor, then he can make our team unstoppable. So it was exciting last night, and it's been exciting this year to see his, I think his decision making and his passing improve as it has. And I think the guys are really enjoying it. It's making the court open up even that much more because he is moving the ball and making great decisions.
Steve.